I'm going to talk about my Pyrachanthia, but my little camellia tree here has got a bird's nest in it fresh. And I need to trim that camellia back, but those branches will have to stay because I don't want to disturb that bird. This is Pyrachanthia. It has a white flower on it. You can see how many will open in this cluster. It has one devilish problem: thorns. You see that thorn? It will stick you in a heartbeat. And the problem with that thorn is you got to get it removed. That thorn will keep working its way in and will not come out like a splinter. I had a friend of mine who was a radio technician, worked on aircraft radios, and he got one in his ring finger and he kept trying to get it out. It got infected, it got gangrene, and he lost 2 joints because of that thing. And it will stick you in a heartbeat. You have to wear very thick gloves when you trim this back. And it can't. Now this one's been here for probably, I don't even think we planted it, so it's probably been here since '78. It's leaning away from our house from all this weight, and I'll limit down to the bottom siding, and then I'll limit out so you won't get hit with it when you walk by it. Here's the irises that we brought with us in 1978 and brought them over here. We've given them away to neighbors, and you can see them in the yards around. Everybody has blue irises. Ours are covered with soil, and that's, instead of having 100, 300 flowers, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's just because the rhizome is, see, you can't see the root part, the bulb part, the rhizome. And unless the rhizome is exposed to the sun, you don't get flowers. Now some you will get, because the sun might bake this side a little bit. You notice it's on the edges and not so much in the center. But if they were all exposed, all of them would be flowering. There's a couple lone ones over there. This is a absolutely gorgeous cedar tree, and it was here when we moved here in '78. You can see by the size of that trunk in there. This is an old tree. Now it needs to be cut back, and you can see where I've done it year after year after year. It just gets bigger and bigger. Our biggest problem is trying to have a opening through there to see traffic coming down the street when we try to pull out this driveway. But I'm going to have to limit back and trim it back, but no matter how much you cut it, it still flushes out. And that's what it looks like from the street. You can tell where I cut it back so the mailman can get to it. But I still got to cut that back a little bit more on the right so we can pull up with the vehicle. But look up in the top. Now we went into a more bonsai type approach when we thinned this out to it, and we've gotten the effect. See how you have a layer there on the right and another layer and another layer and then a top? It looks really great from here. And I got a weed bush. Until I dig a root up, I have to crawl underneath there with loppers and cut it off. I should have done it before I filmed it. But you can see how it looks layered. And once I take out some between the layers, you'll have airspace and light. And it's just for the effect of aesthetics. These Ancer maples are not full-size trees. I don't know, we planted those probably 20 years ago. And one gets more light than the other one. It's all the difference in the world is how much light they get. Now we go in and take out the cut branches. But it does look, it has a nice view looking through that way with the open branches at the eye level. And this camellia has probably been here since they built the house. It has a massive trunk on it. Years ago when the high temperature was 8 degrees for about 5 or 6 days, and in the spring all the camellias looked like they were dying, and I saw somebody getting ready to cut one down. I said, don't cut it down, man, it's not dead, and you know, give it a chance, give it a chance. Almost all my neighbors cut them down. And look at this thing. I didn't. It is absolutely huge. But it's overhanging my roses, and it's blocking the sun getting to my bay window, and it's up here at least serving the purpose of a bird nest. And you can see where I've cut on it and cut on it and cut on it. And it just slowly grows, and I have to cut on it every couple of years and back it up and back it up. Wherever you see multiple shoots come out, you can tell I cut it and it's in another branch out.